we're still doing our WordPress under the hood, and we're looking at CMS, Content Management Systems. And so we're going to look a little deeper here. We talked about what a CMS is. We talked about the technology behind it. We talked about industries, but let's look at some of the CMSs that we have. We have different kinds of CMSs, and honestly, it just depends on how you're doing it. We've got the Enterprise CMS, which is usually built for a company, just kind of like completely on its own platform or whatever, possibly using other technologies. We have web-based CMSs. We have mobile CMSs, component CMSs, and portal CMSs. And honestly, I don't even know what half of those are. So I'm just going to move on, and feel free to make a comment and tell us what a portal CMS versus component CMS is. But those are the types you got there. All right, let's look at the popular CMSs. And we're going to start with WordPress. Okay, WordPress. Now, look at this. We've got kind of like how the average setup of what it would cost to set up a WordPress site with customization. And by the way, that's, this particular course that I'm teaching, that we're learning here, is all about all the things it takes to set up and configure a course, as well as how to customize it through skinning, or in our case, theming, I should say. Some people will call that skinning because they're creating skins, but we're talking about theming. So that's the kind of stuff that we're doing. Okay, and so projects could cost anywhere from $1,000 all the way up to $15,000. Average monthly maintenance is about $250. I'm guessing that has to do with the server host, how much you're paying on a monthly for the server that's hosting it, as well as maintenance and updates. You're probably going to have to pay someone to update the site. If anything gets broken, you're going to want to work on it. So there's some element of that. And then right now it shows that over 5 million websites are using WordPress. And that was just when this was created. If you look at the year, that was created in 2012. So these statistics are old. But look at this. NBC Sports, CNN, UPS, and I'm guessing that's TC. I can't even quite read it. So I don't even know what that company that is. Sorry about it. Those are all sites that use WordPress as a platform. So if you were wondering, hey, does anyone actually use this, like real people, and I'm just joking, of course. But what about a site that has, insane amount of traffic? Well, if anything has insane amount of traffic, it's CNN, right? And think about UPS. They're using a WordPress site, and UPS is tracking stuff all over the world. That's a huge platform to use. And so it's proof that there's a lot here. And here's the other dating factor here. In 2012, we were on version 3.4.1. Well, now it is 2015, and we're on version 4.1. Okay, so that's what we have now. The platform and that go-between is the PHP. And at that point, they had about 1,500 themes available. Okay, so now that you see kind of where WordPress is being used, let's compare it to some of the others. Joomla. Joomla is a very popular one as well. And eBay, Pizza Hut, General Electric, and some other company, can't even read it either. Which, by the way, goes to show you how powerful a logo can be, right? Anyway, moving along. All right, but look at this. It's almost double the startup cost for Joomla. And that's because it takes a little more work to configure a site. WordPress is one of the best for just out of the box, it starts working. And then you want to modify it. That's where it takes a little extra work. But Joomla, you have to start up with a lot of configuration and other things. In fact, one of my blog posts compared Joomla to Drupal. And I eventually stopped trying to work on developing either of those, and I solely do WordPress because it's so much easier to work with. And I've been getting client after client. I think I've not had a break in WordPress development in the last 2 years. I've gone for, as soon as I finish, and I'm teaching full time. So I'm doing this on the weekends, I'm doing it in the summer, at night sometimes. Anyway, so that's Joomla. Started in the game a little bit later. Not quite as many websites, about a fifth of what WordPress is doing. But it looks like there's more themes than there were at the time. Drupal. Look at that. Startup is even 5,000. That even takes more configuration to get going. And believe me, I worked with Drupal for a while, and I finally realized that, it's not worth my time. I can crank out sites better with WordPress. And I felt like the support for WordPress was very strong. The community is amazing. Now, there's a great Drupal community, but that community requires a lot more information and a lot more specialization to begin with, I would argue. I could be wrong. Feel free to shoot me a hate letter or whatever saying, no way, you're insane, you don't know what you're talking about. But, hey, NASA, MTV, The Economist. That speaks for itself. So it is a powerful tool. It's a great tool if you know what you're doing and you want to get into it. Okay. And then look at Typo 3. I'm not familiar with that one, but Cisco, HP, and Philips can't be that bad if those companies are using it. A little bit less of a development cost for Typo 3 than Drupal. I think it's worth looking into. You might want to take a look at it. Interestingly enough, this actually got started in 2001, and Drupal looks like probably sometime before, but this has been around longer than WordPress or Joomla. And then there's this is my least favorite content management system. Now, I'll just tell you, Joomla, I just played around with. WordPress, I have extensive experience. Drupal, I worked for an entire summer trying to work on sites and develop, and I finally, after all that, I decided against it. Dotnetnuke, our school district has required that every website for our schools uses Dotnetnuke. Okay, I do not like Dotnetnuke for a whole host of reasons. One of the things is, and I'm sorry, I'm just slamming them, aren't I? Again, go ahead, give me nasty comments if you are a Dotnetnuke fan. Can I try to change your mind? Because believe me, Dotnetnuke, you pay for everything. Almost everything. If you want to get something free, it's worse than the stuff I put out. Okay, so that's saying something, right? I just insulted myself. But in the meantime, I even insulted them more. Okay, so, yeah, Dotnetnuke. Okay, do you want me to even show you some of the stuff that's out there? Let me just show you one module that you might find interesting. We're going to go to the Centuries High School, and we're going to look at their banner that rolls. Now, I'm going to admit, when I developed the skin for this, when I developed the site for this, it was an older version of Dotnetnuke, and they have since upgraded to a newer version. So maybe they solved a lot of problems. But the problem is the way Dotnetnuke is set up. If you want to do theming, you have to have what's called God privilege. And God privilege in our school district is given to, I believe, one person, and that is not me. So I can't theme, and so at the best, I can try to test or purchase one or find a free one. But how am I going to do that and customize it with our school's colors and all that kind of stuff? All right, enough about that. Can you tell I'm not exactly excited about this content management system? Let's log in and let's take a look at this little scrolling banner, which I don't think is that nice of a design in the first place. But let's not even insult them there. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have even done that. But let's take a look at what it takes to manage this particular module, which is the same as like a WordPress plugin. So here we are. I'm logged in. You can see the admin toolbar across here. I can go into edit mode. I can go to view, layout, preview. I'm not even going to go over that because this is not about doing Dotnetnuke. But let me just show you this one module that we have here to create these image scrollers. It's a decent little tool here. They want pictures. People want pictures. We want to add some content and highlights and things. So it's kind of like a little banner. Now, look at all the options that we have here. Manage content, crop tool, rotator settings, general settings. So we got like 3 possible settings for working on it. Fortunately, it makes sense that manage content is how I'm going to manage my content. So I click here. Click number 1. We should have a little click count on this video as I go. All right, we're going to manage it. Let's say I want to add a new announcement. I'm not even going to talk about the layout and the user interface we're looking at here, but I've seen way prettier. Okay. All right, you tell me. Am I supposed to open or edit? What do you think? So I want to add a new image and blurb. So do you think Edit. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. No, it's not. But let me show you what edit allows me to do. This is amazing edit window here. I can, once I edit it, pause. Here's the edit window right here. Name. Okay, I can change the name of this. By the way, remind me, when we go back to the homepage, do we actually even see this name called homepage anywhere? I don't think it even displays anywhere. I can add a description too. Now, of course, I guess if I wanted to add more than one banner, I would want to name it so I would know. And then position would be on the page. If we're going to have more than one of these rotators in, we can do that. Okay, So that's not to edit. Well, the kind of editing I want to do, which was add and I want to add content. No, we could count that as a click count if you didn't know what you were doing, and that would be an extra click. Then we'd have to hit the back button or cancel or save. So that could be even another click. And then we click open. So now you're thinking, okay, now it's open. This is going to allow me to work on it. Perfect. What is this? I've got another window. Oh, actions, open, edit. Well, if you're smart and you learn, you'll realize you don't want to click edit. So this is click number 3 or possibly 5 if you counted those other 2 clicks because you went the wrong place. You could add 2 more to make it 7 if you accidentally clicked edit a second time. Finally, we can edit our content. We can move things up and down. We can delete. We can, then I'm fine. I want to edit or whatever. I can do that. I want to add. I can go down here, choose images, video, or just straight HTML. I can add it and do all that. And then I can do it, and I can close the media manager, and now I'm done. Well, that's 3 clicks as opposed to just click. Like, let's look at WordPress. And I know it's not exactly a fair comparison. But let's say, for example, I've got a widget on a page. And let's go to the site. I'm not even sure if I have a widget I can refer to on here. But let's just say I'm going to edit content or something. I can go in here. I click on the file or the page I want to do. I have edit post. Okay. I count that as 1 click because I didn't count the click going to the home page of the website. So this is 1 click. I can make my edits and save. I want to do something with the theme. I go to Appearance, Themes. I want to customize my site. By the way, you can also go up here to the top. You can be on the main page, and I can hover and have direct access. Hold on. I guess it's not working as a hub. Oh, that must be the newer version. The newer version. Oh, no, there it is. So there's my direct click on themes. Customize widgets. I want to edit a widget. I click widgets. Let's say I want to change the categories widget. I've got my, not much to change on this particular one. So let's see, for example, I don't have a lot of edits on here. I don't have a good plugin to show you right now. Polls, for example, and I could add a widget here, and I can adjust it here, delete, close, whatever. It's not fair. I mean, I'll get a plugin that can do some content like the other one, but as you can see now that, the word Dotnetnuke, it's just not a good user interface in comparison. Now, if you like that, fine. There's people that will hire you. Let's take a look at who does those sites. Let's go back to our lovely graphic. Again, Hilton, Bose, Motorola. Okay? So, hey, they've managed to make decent sites using it. So I'll give them that. But I certainly don't ever want to work on one of those unless I am required to, which I am. And that's why I spent that time. So sorry for the rant. Sorry, Microsoft and .NET Nuke community. By the way, this one uses ASP.NET, and I believe all the other ones we saw before used PHP for WordPress, PHP for Drupal, PHP for Drupal. Joomla, Drupal, Typo3. So all the other ones use PHP. So, the nice thing about that is if you learn PHP for one site, you can learn it for the others as well. So there's your comparison. And I'm just going to leave this video with other popular CMSs on here. And then you can see, for example, Mambo, sites that use it, Hyundai. Nintendo uses Core DNA. Not even familiar with those companies on Plig. I do see that Magento is used by Lenovo. Sony uses Kentico. And if you love those Cadbury eggs, maybe you want to learn how to develop with Sitecore. So there you have it, different popular CMSs. I hope that was informative. And again, sorry, .NET Nuke community.